Focus tab. Disconnected.
Okay, hopefully I'm coming through. Okay, I am here in I'm in Portland, Oregon, and at the beautiful Schneider National Operating Center. As you can see, I am right behind the garage area, and if this thing is not working, okay, alrighty. Hi, Jolie. So, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here I am. Like I said, I'm in Portland, Oregon. It's a little bit kind of overcast today, or this morning so far. It's supposed to get up to like in the 90s, and it's kind of crazy because it feels nice and cool right now. Then the overnights get pretty nice and cool. I think I saw it might hit 100 degrees here, which for Portland, Oregon, that's like a million degrees. So they're having a bit of a heat wave. This heat, I guess it's all over the country though. So good morning. Hi, Kiki Streets. Glad to see you here. Anyhow, I'm just kind of waking up. I was up late last night watching, let's see, I was watching some shows and it just kept me up late. I shouldn't do that. I think I was up to like, for me is late. It's like, I don't know, like 2 in the morning or something. I know for the night owls, that's like nothing. But anyhow, I was watching on Amazon Prime. I got a show called The Outlaws. It's like an English show. It's from England, and it's got Christopher Walken in it, and he's about the only one you really know. You know, this noble. The rest of it's this English cast, and but it's a fun show. It's like these people that are doing like community service because of like some sort of you know how you get busted for something, and then hey, Kenneth Otto, good morning, Kenneth. Glad you made it. Glad to see we're getting some of the sparklers. I got 3 sparklers in here, so that's cool. Yeah, I was just saying how I was up late last night watching this stupid show called The Outlaws. It's not stupid. It's a good show. I like it. It's like season 2, I think. So, and now I'm kind of tired because I was up until about 2:30 or so watching that show. And that's what happens when you stream stuff and you can just sort of binge watch, and then the next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, it's 2 in the morning or whatever. And so I'm a little groggy this morning, a little, just trying to hydrate, My plan was I was going to get up nice and early. I was going to drive over to Sherry's restaurant and have breakfast, and I was going to, I don't know, just be more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but I ended up just kind of sleeping in and everything. So for my breakfast, I had a chocolate donut and some orange juice. So, yay! But here we go to the high-tech portion of the show. Remember to like and subscribe. These are the high-tech graphics. You won't see this anywhere else, folks. High-tech graphics. All right, so like, subscribe, share, hit the like button, thumbs up button, whatever. and do all that good stuff. So anyway, I titled today's episode. I titled it "Treason" with a 45 in there. I thought that was kind of clever, but and it's just because you know that's what's going on now right now, right? Big thing in the news is we got Trump finding out that he's given away. Oh, well, we don't know what he's giving away, but we know that he was handling, these classified documents, classified materials, and it was pertaining to nuclear. To I guess we don't know exactly what it is, but we know it's not good, and we know that there were people in and out, and this was being stored at a hotel, and the security, it's not like being in a skiff, right? In a highly secured area where nothing gets in and nothing gets out without being someone monitoring all of that. So it just seems more and more like we really had a traitor in the White House, someone who's really whether or not he's working for the Russians or not, he certainly is putting himself out there to the highest bidder. Whether it's the Russians, whether it's anybody else. So it's pretty scary stuff, and to think what got out, and what was it, and who has it now. You know, uh, that's the big question, and hopefully we'll find out. I mean, we don't need to find out. We don't need to see information that's going to get other people hurt. We don't need to see. We don't need to have like if there are operatives named in any of this paperwork. We don't need to see. We don't need to put people in danger, but we do need to know. What did Trump? What did he sell? Because that's what he does. He's very transactional. Everything he does is transactional. So that's the big worry, and I really hope that. Well, I think we're going to be seeing. I've been saying this for a long, long, long time, and it hasn't come true yet. But I really think we're going to see Donald Trump be arrested and brought up on charges. And whether he actually ever goes into prison, I don't know, because he is a former president, and I can see a judge just sentencing, if he does get convicted, and just sentencing him to the ankle bracelet thing, where the at home confinement type of a deal. But whatever they can do, I mean, it would be nice to see him, like, frog marched into a prison, and where he could just sit and rot for his last miserable years of his life. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oil prices are crashing. We've had gas prices at the pump continuing to drop. That's good news. Good news for me. I mean, diesel is still over $5 a gallon of that, but just not too long ago, I was paying over $7 a gallon. So if those can keep dropping, that'd be great. And so we got Jeannie Shannon. How you doing? Glad to see you in the chat. Welcome to Trucker John show. Just show you the beautiful location that I'm at today. I'm over here at the operating center there in Portland, Oregon. Right now I am bobtailed. That means I'm not hooked up to a trailer. And I got in yesterday at yesterday afternoon. I delivered a load not too far from here, and then I just bobtailed over here, and now I'm just kind of off. I don't have any loads lined up right now. I'm just waiting for a load. It's kind of like the same old story. I think this is the way it was. Was it last Thursday? I was waiting for, or I guess it was last Tuesday. I was waiting for the load, and then I finally got one, and went wherever I went. All these days, they all sort of blend together, you know. But so here I am again, kind of intentionally wanted to take at least a day off. Anyhow, get some kind of paperwork I gotta get done, and maybe I might. I know I've got a physical that's due. I might see if I can find a place where I can get my medical done, but I might do that later because I still have time on that. Anyhow, so today will be a kind of a just a kind of a day off. I might get a hotel, just go kick back for a little bit, and then hopefully I'll have a load out of here tomorrow or Thursday by the latest. I don't want to be here longer than that, and get rolling on down the road, you know. But let's see. Yesterday I was driving up Interstate 5. Man, it seemed like there's just so much like wrecks or something. Man, it seemed like there was always big traffic jams, and I think there was a fatality actually. Now that I think about it, there was Interstate 5. Now there was something. I was going northbound, and there was something northbound, and then I just stopped and got lunch, and it kind of cleared up by the time I was done. And then, but then I got back on the 5, and so I'm going northbound towards Portland, and then on the southbound side, you know, I see all this activity with you know, emergency vehicles and everything, and the lights going, and I see a couple of big rigs just parked off to the side, and it looked like the drivers of the big rigs were kind of just standing there, you know, but and they had basically that north or the southbound lanes were, you know, all past that were closed. And as I drove by the big rigs looked, they weren't wrecked or anything. They looked fine, but uh, then I saw, I think it was a, I couldn't really tell. It was a, I guess it was a car, and then there was some police cars and fire truck and everything, and just the way that they, because usually if it's just a fender bender or something like that, they'll move it to the side and try to at least keep one lane open, but they had the whole thing closed off, and I just had the feeling, I didn't see any bodies or anything like that, but I just had a feeling like that was a fatality, the way they were doing the way they were handling that, the way it was shut off, and you could see people kind of walking around, and you know, and the trucks that they had there, it just didn't look good, whatever it was. And here goes a guy pulling out a trailer. If anybody wants to see a trailer, yay! um, so that was that. That was kind of, that was sad to think of that. It's like, and then the backup on that southbound lane, it was right there, right around mile marker about 275 probably. And as I kept driving, my turnoff to take the I-205 to come out here, it was about 280. That's about mile marker 288. So from 275 all the way to 288, that's about what, 13 miles, whatever. The traffic was completely stopped on that southbound side, and it was, and the backup was growing after that. I mean, because that they had it just completely shut off. It was shut off completely. Wow, what a backup, you know. But then I got over here, got the load delivered, and came over here. Now here I am in good old Portland, good old Portlandia, as they like to say, as we like to call it. Oh boy, I am still groggy. I should not have stayed up so late watching that show. That was crazy. It's a crazy life I live. Watching Amazon Prime shows till after 2 in the morning. But so anyhow, what's going on with you guys? We got some people in chat. Anything exciting going on in the world? You guys are from all over the place. Where you guys should do a little roll call. I know that Jolie is from Indiana. Kinky Streets is upstate New York, moving to Vermont, I think. So if you guys want to check in, so just give me your location or tell me how the weather is. That might be fun. That might be kind of a fun thing to do. I don't know. This is a global deal. We're global. We are going out to the whole wide world right now. Good old Trucker John. So I've been thinking about getting a new truck. I don't know. I mean, hopefully this will last me a while longer, but I'm up to 809,000 miles on this baby. But I think if I baby it, and I think I could break 1 million. I think I'm going to try to break 1 million on this sucker. What the hell? Why not? You know, why not go to 1 million? Ginny Shannon, oh shoot. Oh, I know. You were on last week, and I cannot remember where Jeannie's from. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Kenneth is from Florida. All right, Florida. Fighting the good fight over there in Florida. Ginny Shannon, where are you from? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I remember talking to you because I didn't know if it was Jeannie or to pronounce your name. Like I was wondering if I was pronouncing your name right, and I think I'm pronouncing it right, Jeannie. But I don't remember where you're from. Are you from Portland? No. Did we have a conversation about where you were from? Yeah, Kinky Streets. Yeah, you're right there at that Quebec border. Yeah. Jeannie, East Coast. You're an East Coaster. Jeannie from the East Coast. Okay. And the East Coast could be anything from Maine to Florida, I suppose, right? So Massachusetts for Jeannie. That could be Massachusetts. Were we talking about something up there? I'm not sure. It's a mystery. She's keeping us guessing. Where, oh where? Okay, now I've got two options. I can either turn on this engine and run my AC because it's starting to get a little hot in here, or I can roll the windows down and take a chance of bugs getting in, and also hearing the airplanes. One just flew over. I'll roll down the windows. We'll take our chances with the windows down. Get some air in here. It's getting a little stuffy. Um, Virginia. Or is it West Virginia? Oh. I always get West Virginia and Virginia mixed up. I bet you people from Virginia hate that. Both West Virginia and Virginia is for lovers or whatever. There can only be one. They can't both be. They can't both be that. So Jeannie's from Virginia. I'll have to remember that next time. So we got 4 in the chat and only 3 thumbs up. So someone's not thumbing up. Come on now. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. So let's see. We'll take a little shot here. You can see all these trucks are parked here. Most of these are. I don't know what they're doing with these trucks. Some of them are waiting to be worked on. Some of them are local drivers. Maybe they're off for the day. Some of these trucks are old trucks and they sell them. Let's see, there's a row of trucks down there. These are all I'm in the bobtail section. Hey, thanks for that thumbs up. Now we're at 4 and 4. I like the symmetry. I like the symmetry of that. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. That's the stuff. So that's where I'm at. I'm at the yard here. They've got the maintenance bays, and that's where you go in. You can get your truck worked on, or sometimes your trailer. And over there, they've got restrooms and showers, and they've got a driver's lounge with a TV, and they've got a little break room with some vending machines and microwaves. And also, that's where then they have, I forget what they call it, but the room where all of the dispatcher people are at. They don't really call them dispatchers, but that seems to be sort of more commonly known kind of nomenclature, I guess. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at today. All right, so it seems like most of my listeners here are all on the east. I guess Indiana, Jolie is that Central Time Zone still? Forget where the line is for that between Central and Eastern Time Zone. So for you guys, it's like lunchtime over there. Yeah, I haven't even had my breakfast yet, really. I had a donut, and it was an old donut. Remember, I think those were the donuts I bought on Thursday. Remember those donuts I bought on Thursday? I don't know if you remember. I was watching the show. I bought donuts. I bought these donuts, and then I had one donut, and then I hit it in the back. And it actually kind of worked. I did actually kind of forget about them. But I had one since then, and I had one now, so. I didn't want to eat like the whole, the point was I didn't want to eat the whole box like in that one day, like a big fat pig, right? So I hit them up in the, see that basket behind me, that laundry basket? I stuck them in there. And it kind of worked. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, you know? It's kind of like, I also have a little place where I stash money, like cash, like emergency cash, and I actually forget about that cash. So it's kind of weird how you can do that. You can play little minds on your little tricks on your minds. Little on your little mind, you can play tricks. So anyhow, so hey Kenneth, what did you retract? I thought I thought I saw it on there. Jolie Eastern. Oh, so you're in the Eastern time zone now. It's been a while since I've been out there. I haven't gone. Actually, since the COVID breakout, and I haven't gone anywhere past, like farther east from here than the I-25 corridor, which is basically, if you think of a map, like Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then go straight up into Colorado and through Denver and up to Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's about as far east as I've gone since the last couple of years, and even before then I hadn't gone in a while, I don't think so. Since I've gone as far east as even Indiana or even upstate New York or Virginia, East Coast, I bet you it's been 4 or 5 years maybe since I've gone that far east. I know I shouldn't buy them because it's just I need to start eating good things. I know Kinky Streets wanted me to eat a salad, and I don't think I did. Just reading Kenneth Otto, I always get confused about where the Central Time starts when you get above the states of Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Yeah, I forget where that line is. It goes down. It's been a while. I've only been to Florida as a truck driver, I think twice since I've been. Oh, you retracted about the Central Time. It's just weird. You see something retracted, and you think, it's like, oh, what did he say? Did he say something really horrible? But it wasn't that bad, I guess. I ate a salad after the big meal of the day. I was gonna get a salad. I really was gonna get a salad that day. I don't know if it was Tuesday or Thursday. Oh, because we were talking about the donuts. Maybe it was Thursday, and then we were talking about something, food, and you said I should get a salad, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna get a salad, and I really did mean to get a salad, because sometimes actually at the Flying J and Pilot truck stops they actually have pretty good salads you can buy, like kind of like a chef salad or whatever. And I think they're pretty good. And I think they're probably somewhat healthy, maybe more healthy than a hamburger. More healthy than a pizza or whatever. And then for some reason I didn't do it. I don't know. I ended up. It's maybe some place where maybe I wasn't at the Flying J or something. Kind of depends on where I end up. I try to buy. I have this little refrigerator, and I try to buy food and keep it kind of stocked up. But it goes fast. And usually about all I can put in there is like lunch meat and stuff for like sandwiches and stuff like that. I don't have a microwave. Some truckers they have they have their trucks pretty well decked out. They've got microwaves or they have some type of oven. They've got these new ovens now that aren't really microwaves, but they cook really well, and they can hook those up in there. And they have refrigerators and all that kind of stuff. I've got this one portable fridge. I don't have an oven though. I should get one, and then I could cook more of my own meals and stuff instead of you know eating the junk. It's not just the money of it because that is expensive to eat out, but you end up eating just a lot of crap and stuff. And so I don't know. Maybe someday I'll get that oven in here. I've been thinking about it, and then I always think, well, This is an old truck, but you know, you can always take the oven with you. So, I think there's a tiny spot at the top and bottom of the western corners of Indiana that are central, but most of. Oh, Jolie said that. At Kenneth Otto. Most of the state is eastern, so you weren't totally wrong. Yeah, sometimes that line it can jut around, you know, different shapes. It's kind of like up here in the West Coast case. So we're Pacific time zone, and that's kind of a weird deal because if you go from, let's say, the Canadian border, it cuts down through Idaho or something, or I guess it's pretty much right at the Washington-Idaho state line, and it kind of follows the state line. But then when you get down to the bottom southeast corner of Oregon, they sort of cut a little notch out for Ontario, Oregon, to be, instead of being in the Pacific time zone, it's in the mountain time zone. And I think the reason they did that is because the biggest population center to Ontario, Oregon, is the Boise, Idaho area, which is just a few miles away. Like, well, Boise is probably like 40 miles away, but and then there's the whole surrounding area around all those towns around Boise, so it's kind of a big, you know, a lot of. I don't know. I don't know if I want to call it metropolitan, but you know, I mean, there's a lot of suburbs and things around it, and a lot of those people kind of go back and forth, whether with jobs or with school or with just, you know, kind of commerce. So I think, I don't know who did it, how they did it. The state of Oregon can do it, but they did cut this little notch out that goes right around Ontario, Oregon, and they make that mountain time zone to match Boise. But it's kind of weird if you look at the map, or if you're driving through it, you're like, okay, I'm still in mountain time zone, even though you're in Oregon. You kind of think of Oregon as being Pacific time zone, but that one little notch is in the mountain time zone. So that kind of stuff happens, you know. It happens, you know, it happens. And then there's Arizona, you know. I could never figure out what the hell, because they don't do daylight savings times, I guess. So they just keep their same time all year. So half the year they're on the same time zone as California, and then half the time they're not. And I'm always like, okay, where are we at now? Are we the same? Are we not the same? I'm always confused when I go to Arizona, but Arizona's a confusing state, so you know, they got Kirsten Sinema, so that kind of enough said there on the state of confusion. But I am glad that she won, because who was the Republican? Sally something. I'll just call her Sally something. I think that's a good. Sounds good. And she was a total maggot, Trump humper, you know. So as bad as Sinema is, still better than that chick. Just remember that, by golly. We've got that going on. Man, I rolled those windows down and I'm actually getting a little chilly now. Weird. Kind of weird. So, let's see. I'm just looking at the chat. He says you're correct. Kenneth says you're correct, Julie. And then Kenneth, Jeannie Shannon. I should remember it was Virginia is for lovers, but I haven't been there since 1992. Wow, even I've been to Virginia. More recent than that. I was in Virginia. I did go back, yeah, just before the, probably a year or so before the pandemic. You hear the airplane kind of under the flight pattern of the airport of Portland airport. There it goes. It's a big passenger jet flying in there. Yeah, I think I was in Virginia probably 3, 4 years ago, I guess. I took a well, I drove the truck back, and I remember I was out there for a little while, some of those states, and then getting back. It seems like it's always hard. That's kind of why I don't like going, because I'm based out of here in the West Coast, and whenever I go to the East Coast, it's just so hard to get back here, where you end up being stuck in the eastern states for like 6 weeks before you can finally start migrating back to the West Coast. And so that's why that's one of the reasons why I don't do it. Usually when I do it, it's just because I wanted to go to the East Coast and just just for something to do. And I might do that again. I don't know, but I'll probably be staying out here for a while longer out here. So anyhow, hey, Mike Malloy, how's it going? And we got Cool Frog. Hi guys, glad to see you. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you share if you can. Maybe, I don't know. Mr. Malloy, how's it going? Thank you, Mr. Malloy. Thank you, Michael, for hitting that like button. We're at 4 we're at 5 likes. Hey, look at that. I got 4 in the chat and 5 likes. So look at there. Kenneth Otto, I actually passed through Virginia in 2000. Oh, but it probably is early in the morning both ways. Yeah, you don't count that. We don't count the early mornings because you're kind of tired. So we won't count that. It wasn't of any significance, right? And back in '92, you probably were there for a little bit longer. So, Michael, this is my first time here, and well, I'm glad you made it. Glad to have you. Jolie, hit the Michael Loy show. Or she says hi. Okay. Jolie's very friendly. Always saying hi to everybody. And Sally, Cool Frog asked, Sally? Are you talking about Carrie Lake? No. I was just talking about whoever ran in against Kirsten Sinema, the Republican that ran against Sinema in was this whenever she ran, 2020 or whatever. Whoever the Republicans put up, I forget her name. I think her first name was Sally. But Carrie Lake, yeah, she's another Trump humper. So yeah. Hey, all right, hello. Saying hello to everybody. 1992 was a multi-day stay, so that does count. Yeah, that counts. If you're just driving through and you hit like a little corner of the state, yeah, But I'm just joking around. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been out there, up that far east. Oh, well, look at there. See, that's what happens to me too. It's like you kind of open a little memory hole, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I remember now I did this and I did that. So yeah, 2009, you were there in Virginia. What did you think of Virginia? Is Jeannie still on? Is Jeannie still there? I don't want her to think we're like bagging on her state. But it's a beautiful state. And now I forget, it was West Virginia or Virginia. See, that's another thing. I know people from Virginia and West Virginia, they hate when people probably confuse those two states. And I do it all the time. Okay, so let's see. Kufrog, oh, you were talking about, oh, Martha McSally. Well, I knew there was a Sally in there somewhere, right? McSally. She's a McSally. She's the old, yes, she's Scottish, I believe. My wife's family's father side is from Virginia. So, oh, okay. Alrighty. And you don't confuse West Virginia with Virginia, I bet. I bet you're not like me, because I'm always like, is it West Virginia or Virginia? Uh, you can bag on Oregon because I hate it here, Michael Malloy says. I kind of was bagging on it. I wasn't really bagging on it. I was talking about the time zone. There's about the weird little notch over in Ontario where it's Mountain Time Zone, where the rest of the state is the Pacific Time Zone. I don't know if you were here during that part, Mike. Um, we were talking about time zones. Very interesting conversation about time zones, and how if you see that the entire state is Pacific Time Zone, but when you get down to that southeast corner of Ontario, there's this little notch cut out that's Mountain Time Zone. And the reason they do that, I believe, is because it's right there at the state line, and then right over that is Boise and all the surrounding areas of Boise, and they do a lot of back and forth there. The people probably with jobs and school and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was about as much as I was bagging on Oregon. But anyhow, Julie, I can't pick out years I did stuff. It's all a blur, I know. Isn't that the truth? I think it's from several years of following the Grateful Dead. Jolie is a Deadhead. Uh, and if you notice, my little theme song that I sing on here, it almost sounds like a Deadhead song, but far enough away that they won't come after me and sue me. Um, anyhow, and then Kenneth Otto, I did the slogan. I have not seen those bumper stickers around Florida very much. Oh, I did with the slogan of like West Virginia is for lover or Virginia is for lover. See, I'm doing it again. I just cannot stop confusing those two states. I have not seen those bumper stickers around Florida very much. What what is the Florida bumper sticker? Is it like Florida? No. But anyhow, this is a time to go ahead and do the high tech portion of the show, the high tech graphics. I like the little grease spot here. It's really that comes in. That took a lot of painstaking work to do that. But anyhow, make sure you like and subscribe and and share. It's all about the share. It's all about the sharing here. I'm wearing my Strat shirt today. That's for the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, which really is kind of a shithole. But, you know, I think basically almost every city has a shithole side to it. So Jolie's giving me the flash and a peace sign. Is that like a deadhead thing? Is that a deadhead thing? You're a deadhead. Jolie's a deadhead. I like the dead. Little Julie, the reason I can remember those years are vacations. Yeah, not that many since marriage in 1989. Very long distance trip. It's weird how I remember things. I know Michael Malloy misses Los Angeles. I hear you talking about LA a lot. LA, you know, just like every city, there's shitty parts of LA and there's really great parts of LA, and I like LA. I love LA. I don't like driving there in my truck though, because it is just congested, and most of the places that you pick up as a truck driver, like when you go to places to deliver a load or pick up a load, so many of those places they were built like in the 30s or something, and they were made and designed, I think, for these little, much smaller trucks. They weren't made for the big rigs we have today that are really huge. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just so tight and confined. I hate going down there. So I try to avoid picking up loads or delivering into LA if I can. Can't always, but I try to just avoid it because it's just a pain in the ass. But if I'm in a four-wheeler, I'll go down to LA all the time. I like going to Dodger games. I like going to the beach. I like going down to Santa Monica, down to the promenade. You know, I like going to the pier in Santa Monica. I like going to Hollywood, you know, seeing a show or something like a, you know, like we went to one year. What's that theater? They just show movies. They'll screen like we saw like Pirates of the Caribbean or something like that. And they do special screenings and stuff. So it's fun. There's fun things to do, you know. But there's always a you know, kind of a, you know, there's always a kind of a shitty side to everything. But there's a good sides too. So and I know, yeah, Michael wants to move back down to LA. Yeah, the amazing graphics. It is, Jolie. That is sort of the highlight of the show. The graphics, and you did notice. I just noticed it, but I didn't. The little grease spot. I just, for some reason, I love that. You know, I mean, it looks so real, isn't it? The graphics, that grease spot, it looks so real. My graphics department is just knocking it out of the ballpark. You know, with that. I mean, that's a touch that most people wouldn't think about. You know, so kudos to the graphics department. Um, and Michael Malloy says, yes, it's, to something. I'm not sure if it's just to LA or what. Yeah, it's 100% authentic, and that's what we're shooting for here at the Fowler, John Fowler. And you do see Mike. Hey, look at here, LA champs, my friend. I know you're a Dodger fan too. And we won last night. Got back on the winning side. They won their 80th game last night. And I say we because even though I don't play for the Dodgers, but I've been a fan of the Dodgers since I was a little kid. In the 60s, I've been a fan. Number one, they're my favorite team since the 60s. So I think I can say we. I think I can say we when I say that we are going to win it all this year. We're going to get that championship back. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, Jolie, the grease spot. It's just that little, you know, that little, you know, that little extra touch, you know. So yeah, I hope we get it back, Mike. We're gonna be rooting for those Dodgers. I went to Dodger game on July 4th with my kids. Actually, was able to get down there this year, and it was a really fun time. My kids are in their early 20s now, and we made sort of a little vacation out of it. We went down. I got us a couple of hotel rooms down in Anaheim, and we went to the Dodger game on 4th of July. Had a great time, and then on the next day, on the 5th, we went to Disneyland. And it's the first time I've been to Disneyland since they were little kids. I can't even remember the last time I took them. I think they were just like in like junior high age or something. So anyhow, we had a great time at Disneyland, and they've got a bunch of new Star Wars rides and stuff that were just amazing. House Sparks was talking about that the other day. Him and his girlfriend Summer, they went and he was describing that new Star Wars ride, and that's exactly what it was. It was just so awesome. Yeah, Joel, your kids are probably the same age. Mine are 22 and 24, and their birthdays are in September, so they're coming up on their birthdays. And my son is getting married next month, in just a few weeks. So we got that going on. He's getting married, and they're having their birthdays, and all kinds of exciting stuff coming up here in the future, near future. 21 and 24. Mine are 22 and 24. Anyhow, so we had a great time. It's fun having doing stuff with them, and but it was fun going to Dodger Stadium. I wanted to go to another game this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. Because now I don't live. Because I used to live in the Palmdale area, Palmdale, Lancaster, which is only, I don't know, 80 miles from Dodger Stadium, maybe. So we could go to games a lot easier. But now that I'm pretty much based out of Vegas now, so it's a little bit harder. And yeah, out in the desert. Uh, I've lived in the desert my whole life, basically. Jolie, two girls freak out if either consider getting married anytime soon. Yeah. You just never know. It comes right out of the blue. I wasn't really expecting my son to get married, and all of a sudden, he's getting married. And my daughter, you never know, she might get married. She's seeing a guy now, and who knows, she might say, "Hey, I'm getting married." But yeah, I'm a desert rat. You know, I was born in Northridge, California, which is the valley. And then when I was about 3, my dad got this job out at Kaiser Cement, which is out in Lucerne, which is way out in the desert. Kind of in the foothills of the mountains, actually, of the back way going up to Big Bear. I know all the East Coast people have no idea what I'm talking about, but Mike might know what I'm talking about. Michael, I was raised in Granada Hills, California. I know Granada Hills. That's right next to Northridge. Um, When I was 3, we moved out to Apple Valley. I think that's where, was it Divinity said? Uh, was it? She was on your show, Mike, the other day, and I think she was living in Apple Valley. And I grew up in Apple Valley and Victorville. We kind of would move back and forth. There was a time when we moved up to Fresno for a little while because my mom is from Fresno and she wanted to live up there. We lived up there for probably like a year, and then we ended up moving back because my dad never quit his job. He had that job at Kaiser, and he kept that job because it was a great paying job. You know, it was a union job, and it paid really great money. So even though we moved to Fresno, which was like, I mean, Fresno, that's in Central California, and Lucerne is down in towards Southern California. And he would just come up like on his days off, and that's why it didn't really work. That Fresno thing really didn't work, and we ended up moving back. But um, and we lived in Big Bear for about a year one time when I was like 8, 9 years old. And then we moved back down to the desert, and we were kind of, they just kept moving, you know, and it kind of sucked because even though it was in the general area of Apple Valley, Victorville, they're right next to each other. Um, you know, and then it was like up in Fresno and in Big Bear and all this stuff. It kind of sucked because it seemed like every year. There was even one year where I think I went to 3 different schools in the same year. You know, it was just, I don't know. It kind of messes you up. I think socially, maybe, you know, like you're just making friends and then you get turned away, and it's not like today where you can kind of keep in contact with social media. And in those days, even just moving from Victorville to Apple Valley, which are neighboring cities, but you might be 20 or 30 miles away. That might as well be 300 miles away. And back in those days, you know, but once you moved, you didn't really see those people again until you moved back. And it's funny, I had to have friends that I knew like in 2nd grade, and then I moved to Victorville. I made these friends in like 3rd or 4th grade or whatever. And then we moved back to Upper Valley, and it was like, oh, I remember you, but then like 3 or 4 years ago, but then you're not really friends anymore, you know. It's just a whole weird thing. But anyhow, so we did that. But I was always in the Apple Valley, Victorville. That's the Victor Valley. Oh, there's like a. See, I told you bugs would start getting in here. Might have to roll up the windows. I hate getting bugs in the cab of my truck because then they just are in here and I don't like it. But I'm gonna roll the windows up. But then, so that was the Victor Valley, which was pretty much from age 3 to my 20s, I guess. Yeah, because I went to Victor Valley College, and then I even transferred down to College of the Desert, which is down in Palm Springs, Palm Desert area. And then, at the ripe old age, because I'd quit school, and I went back to school. So at the ripe old age of 27, I got a football scholarship because I was playing football at COD, and I got this scholarship to play at New Mexico Highlands University in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Not Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, New Mexico. So I went back there to play football, and at the ripe old age of 27, and then it's kind of a long story, but I ran into this issue of, and I was playing, and I was a starter, and man, I was at the top of my game. I was in such great shape. I was so strong, man. I was kicking ass. I was like defensive player of the game, defensive player of the week. And then I lost, and then see, this is when there was still like snail mail, right? This is like 1987 or something. And apparently there was a grade from my previous school that didn't transfer over for some reason. And so that by the time those transcripts got to the coaching staff and everything, we'd already been playing a few games, and then they found out I wasn't eligible. I lost my eligibility, so I basically was kicked off the team. Well, I was still on the team because I was still like on the practice squad. And I would still practice and stuff because the coach told me you can't play anymore this year, but we're going to keep you. We want you for next year. And I was like, okay, coach. And so I still played, but then I know I just got really depressed, and I was 27, and I was at that point in my life where I'm like I'm pushing 30, and I'm playing college football, and now I've lost my eligibility, and so all of a sudden my dad got a hold of me because in those days there was no cell phones, and so I got a message from like the office, like the school office or whatever. They left a message on my door, my dorm room door, and it was like, you know, you got a call from your father, call him back or something like that. And I was like, so I'm like, oh fuck, what happened? And, I'm thinking, I'm kind of worried, like, because no one would call unless it was like really important like that, something important. So anyhow, I get a hold, I go to a payphone. I remember I grabbed a bunch of change. Back then you had to like use change and stuff, right? And I got on the phone, and I called my dad, and I was like, "What's up, Dad?" And he's like, "Hey, the post office, they're trying to get a hold of you over here in Van Nuys. They got a job for you." I was like, "Wow," and I was like, "Really?" Because I applied for them. It was like 4 years prior to that, where I had applied, and I had forgotten all about it. And there goes a train. And he's like, yeah, they have a starting date. They want you to go in and start working for them. And my dad goes, and he goes, he goes, he said something like, this is an opportunity for like a career or something like that. He goes, I wouldn't pass it up, because I was just a student. I wasn't making any money. And my dad wanted me to get a job, and I was 27, and I really wasn't doing anything. Other than school. I was going to school full time, and I was working at Kmart. I'd been working at Kmart for a few years, because I had been working at Kmart in Victorville, and then I transferred to Las Vegas, New Mexico. And so he was like, "Yeah, you should probably do this." So I went ahead and I quit school. Well, actually, I finished that semester because it was November, and the semester ended. I think it ended like in the first week of December, and then they started like the winter break. So I went ahead and I just stayed on the team, and I just practiced. I was on the practice squad and I knew that was probably the last football I was ever going to play. And even though I did go on and I played some semi-pro after that, but so I finished the semester, and I left. I went back home to California, and I got the job at the post office in January 2nd, 1988. That was my hiring date, and was automation clerk. Worked on an automation, mail processing clerk. And I was there for about 12 years, working graveyards, and I hated it. I really hated it. And got out of it and became a truck driver. So that's the story of Trucker John. I don't know if hopefully that went through. I don't know. I'm not seeing the chat. I probably put everybody to sleep, I guess, with that riveting story. Um, so yeah, Mike, you were from Granada Hills. I was from the, Northridge, and then we moved out to the desert, and all that. And then I ended up going back to work in Van Nuys in 1988 at the good old Van Nuys main office, and worked there until they relocated out to Santa Clarita in I guess the early 90s. So Mike's brother was born in Van Nuys. Yeah, I worked there. My cousin was born. Well, my cousin was actually born in L.A., but he grew up in Van Nuys. He doesn't come on live, my cousin, but sometimes he'll come on afterwards and watch these, and then he'll leave really weird comments. Um, but then so anyhow, and I had a lot of family. Well, my cousin and his mom, they lived in Van Nuys for a long, long time. Uh, and then my other relatives, cousins and stuff, they mainly lived out in Simi Valley. And yeah, Michael, your brother is in Utah. Yeah, is he in the Salt Lake area? I go through Salt Lake quite a bit. Uh, it's kind of my run that I kind of do now. It seems like it's like Phoenix, Vegas, Salt Lake, Boise, and then Oregon and Washington, and then usually I shoot back down to Southern California, and then back into Phoenix. That's kind of the loop I do pretty much. Oh, St. George. I have a friend. I have an old friend, an old schoolmate who, for years and years and years, he lived in Lancaster, and I think he and his wife they just recently retired and moved to St. George, and he posts all on his socials. He posts these really great GoPro videos of him and his wife in St. George, and they're always on like a Razor, those Razor off-road vehicles, or they're hiking, and these beautiful shots of, like, I guess it's the Virgin River, and all the beautiful rock formations and the great sunsets, and it looks really beautiful, really nice. They're really enjoying that, I guess. Um, St. George, yeah, it's really, it's that red rock type of place. Really pretty. It can get pretty hot there in summertime, like right now, but it's pretty nice. It's funny when you get up to you're in St. George, it's really hot usually, and then as you go north, by the time you get to like Cedar City, it's a little bit cooler, and then by the time you get to Beaver, it's like way cooler usually. Especially in the wintertime. Like St. George might be kind of mild, and then when you get up to Beaver's one of the coldest places I've ever been in, man. I mean, it's just weird. It's kind of like, I think it's like this bowl where all the coldness goes to in Utah, man. That place, I've been there where it's been like -3 or -10, in the wintertime, and everything is frozen and iced up, and this is back when I was a company driver, and they had the truck where they made it so it wouldn't idle more than 5 minutes or something like that, and the heater wouldn't work unless the truck was idling, and I remember I think it was like 0 degrees out or something, and I don't think I've even had money for a hotel, or because there is a hotel there. I forget if the hotel was there then, Because nowadays I would just get a hotel. But then I think I had like 2 sleeping bags and a blanket, and I put on like winter coat. I put on everything I could to keep from freezing to death because I couldn't run the heater in that stupid truck. And then whenever I would idle, it would only idle for 5 minutes and shut off. Oh man, that was really a freezing cold night, man. Froze my ass off. And nowadays I would just for sure just go to a hotel. I'm just trying to think if there even was a hotel there, because that I think it was there though. I don't know. I guess maybe I just didn't have any money. My years as a company driver is pretty rough, man. Hardly made any money, you know. But that's why I like being an IC, because you make more money. But anyhow, I've been blathering on for over an hour, just blathering, just doing my blather. It's the blather show. I blather. I blather and I drink water. I don't know if today's show was interesting or not. I'm probably going to go ahead and maybe sign off here in a few minutes. I appreciate everybody who came on. It's a joy to have you guys here every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I might even do some impromptus popping in here and there, you know, from places. Michael Malloy, nice to meet you. I've been watching your live streams for I think a couple months now, or at least over a month, and I find them to be really enjoyable. Actually, I like watching your streams. I like watching your show, and I know that I'm left leaning. I know you're right leaning, and probably most of your listeners are more to the right, but I don't really care about that. I have fun in your room. I hope people come here and can have a good time. Whether you're to the right or to the left, doesn't really matter to me. I think we can still all get along and we can talk about shit, you know. And we're allowed to have our differences of opinions. And I know you don't vote. I know that about you, Mike. I do vote, and I urge everyone to vote. And if you don't want to vote, then that's fine too. But I'm hoping I'm going to vote. And that's coming up here in November. So, but anyhow, I'll be seeing you, Mike, over there on your show whenever you go on. I always go in. And thanks, Jolie, for being here. Fun show. Welcome all the newbies to the channel. Super glad you're here. Well, something just overcame me. Yes, thanks for all the new people. We had Kenneth Otto. Thank you very much. I don't know if Kenneth's still here or not. I probably put him to sleep. This is a good cure for insomnia. If you ever have any insomnia, maybe I should do a late night show. Just come on in, and you'll probably go right to sleep. Boom. You know, just like that. Hey, Kenneth Otto, thank you for being here. I'll see you guys. Probably see you in Hal's chat. I think he's going to be on today at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Today's Tuesday. I remember he had a big travel schedule going on and stuff going on. I think he's on today though. Cool Frog. Hey, glad you made it. Glad you're here. I know we didn't talk a whole lot. I kind of blathered. I kind of was just a lot of blather and just fart air is basically that's my shtick. So if you're into that kind of thing, then you're in the right place. Take care, Michael Malloy. I'll be seeing you on your show. I'll be dropping in. But like I said, I'm here Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure you're here. If you want to bring people over, anyone who wants to raid me can raid me anytime, man. We can do some raids. And the thing is, see, I need to kind of upgrade. I'm doing this show on an iPad, and I'm watching the chat on my phone because the chat On the iPad, it just comes on for a couple seconds and then it goes away. But on the iPhone, I can see it. So it's kind of a weird deal. And I think if I had maybe a regular laptop, maybe it'd be better. I don't know. It just seems kind of, it's kind of weird because of my setup. And I'm doing this from a truck. This is my in-cab studio. And I guess I could get some better gear. Maybe I could do a little bit better. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. My wheels are turning right now. I'm just trying to think, like, if I had a laptop, if it would be better. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's my situation. And just in case, just to give you guys a visual of what's going on, it's an iPad and an iPhone. That's how I'm doing the show. And fortunately today, it looks like we had a pretty good signal. I think it was didn't have too many buffering problems. Sometimes I'm in a place where I just have to stop the show because it's buffering so much, like when I was out in the middle of Wyoming or something. But here I'm in Portland, and so it seemed like it was pretty good. But anyhow, if anybody has any ideas on gear, that'd be they could send that my way. Because I'm thinking about getting an Apple, maybe a new Apple, MacBook or something. I don't know. Instead of doing it this way, there's just something about this setup that's, I guess it's working, but it just seems kind of weird. I don't know. But anyhow, thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. And I'm going to be working, my graphics team is going to be working on some more graphics. So maybe on Thursday we'll have more graphics and better, more improved. Maybe, I don't know. Can't promise anything. And let's see what else is going on. Like I said, I'll see some of you guys. If Hal, Jolie, do you remember, is Hal on today at 3? I will be live panel at 2 p.m. West Coast time. Hope to see you there. Okay, yeah, for sure. I know, that's Jolie. You told me that before. Email Dan, Liberal Dan. I need to do that. I haven't done that. I know you told me, you suggested that. I didn't do it. I get to driving and then I forget shit. But yeah, I got to figure this out. Okay, so on my iPad, I just touched it, and it says I could report you, Ken. No, I could put you in timeout. Ooh, I could remove you. I could add a moderator. Oh, I didn't know I could even add moderators. You anybody know a mod for me? Because I know we've got so much activity. Okay, so, wow, I never even saw a little pop-up screen before. Huh. Wow. And Ken thinks that's hilarious. Yeah, well, it is. I'm gonna put you on timeout, Ken. No, just kidding. Only mod you're most trusted. Yeah, I know. I've heard some horror stories. Jolie, Dan is really good at the tech stuff. See, I see that now. It disappeared, and now but Moon, I'm tapping the screen and it's not coming back. So anyhow, okay, Ken, I get it. You don't want. I get it, Ken. I get it. You don't want a mod. Okay, I know. I'm not gonna force you to mod. Anyhow, I don't think I'm quite there at the moderation stage. Maybe when I start getting like thousands of people, maybe. I would like to date some of the cute mods. Now, Kenneth. Who wouldn't? So anyhow, yeah, I would like to get into the thousands of subscribers, and then I might need a mod then at that point. So right now, what am I up to? I have how many subscribers? I think I'm at 350, something like that. Um, I don't know. I can't see it. See, that's what the thing with the thing. The thing with the thing. It doesn't show me the thing. I don't get. I can't see the thing with the thing. The thing with the thing isn't showing me it. Hey, what are you kidding me? What are you kidding me? Hey, I got 6 likes. I could do like Mike does and just stay on until I get 10. And then when I get 10, just keep staying on. That's what Mike does. He's like, we're at 10 thumbs ups, and then I'll go in for 20, and he'll just keep going until he gets like 100. Uh, I could do that because I'm off today, but I don't really want to sit here all day. So anyhow, I've been. Is this one of those like Midwestern goodbyes that Hal does? Uh, anyhow, what do you mean I would have better luck? I don't know. Anyhow, there's the Michael Malloy Show with his yes. Oh, uh, and here's a little insider for whoever's watching it. Jolie should know this one, but this is my signal. This is my sign for 1,000. Remember, that's the goal, 1,000 subs. So I don't know what that means though. I mean, 1,000, but I don't have 1,000. I only have 350. Oh, 352 in there. Thank you, Jolie, for the update. So that's pretty cool because I think just yesterday I had like 340 something. So we're growing. We're growing. And you know what? I've had this channel since 2007, and I never did anything with it. I was just using it just to post, I think, some family videos, and I was posting some trucking videos, but I never went live. I mean, I did a couple of lives, I think, like 10 years ago, just to try it out. I did like, and then I just stopped doing it. So basically, it just sat dormant, and I was at about, but it would pick up subs, and I was at about 186 subs, just about, I think 2 or 3 months ago. And then I don't know what I was posting because I wasn't doing any lives, I don't think. But I must have posted, but I was posting just videos of my trucking shit, which you guys should check out because there's actually some pretty cool videos about, if you want to see about the trucking life and life on the road and all that kind of stuff. There are some videos in there that aren't lives; they're just videos about trucking. You should check them out. But anyhow, all of a sudden, I started seeing the subs jumping from like 186 to like 2 something, and then 280, and then 3, and then I was like 3 something, and I was like, what's going on here? Why am I getting all these subs all of a sudden? And I wasn't even trying. And then that gave me the idea, well, maybe I should do some lives, and maybe I should, see if I can grow this channel. So in the last couple months, I've gone from about 186 subs to now I'm at, what was it? I was at 352. So that's cool, That's pretty cool. So hopefully, the goal is 1,000, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, it's a Midwestern goodbye, and I'm not even from the Midwest. I'm from California. Go figure. Go figure. Yes, it's 1,000. That's the goal. So I guess I don't know how I'm going to use that, but 1,000. And I don't even know why I did that. I'm so silly. Cool Frog, I will watch you later when you go live, and I will be looking forward to it. Thanks for your support. Hey, Cool Frog, if you're still on there, what time are you going on? I was listening to you guys last night, and yeah, you saw my post. I was watching Cool Frog for a few hours, but all truth be told, I kind of lurk a little bit, and I kind of, while Cool Frog was playing on my iPhone, then on my iPad I was playing my CSR2 video game, which I like to play. Yeah, Cool Frog is awesome. And so I kind of would have Cool Frog in my left ear, and then I was playing my game, and then every now and then I would look at the chat, or I would hear something, and then I would post something, and then. So I don't know if that's cool. Maybe that's not cool because I wasn't being really 100% attentive to everything, you know. So I don't know, but maybe I'm just a dick. I don't know, you know. But anyhow, I'll see him on there on the notifications, and I'll check him out. It's really fascinating to my left leaning friends, my liberal friends, like Jolie and I think Kenneth, right? And Kiki Streets. Kiki Streets, I guess, left. I totally bored Kiki Streets ass completely off. His ass is laying on the ground somewhere. That's how bored I've bored him. Kiki's gone. But what was I even gonna say? I don't remember. What was I saying now? Oh, Kinky up. I called you out, dude. That's how that was my old trick. I just thought I bored you to death. That's all. I was worried. I was just worried for you. I thought maybe you just died because of the boredom of the show. Anyhow, I don't even remember what I was talking about now, to tell the truth. Something about, I was going to talk about my left-leaning friends. Now, you might find it fascinating to go over to Cool Frog. Cool Frog, and I don't know if Cool Frog is on here or not. And I know Mike Malloy and Cool Frog are definitely to the right, okay? And that's their deal, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. My left-leaning friends, you go and check the shows out, and you can engage, and you can do it in a civil way. I haven't really seen any. I haven't seen anyone like, I don't know, like blow up at each other, or you know, I've just seen so far. I've just seen like civil discourse where people can talk, express their opinions, and so it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of a cool thing that when you if you can get righties and lefties together and just have a conversation. So you might want to check them out. Check out Mike Malloy for sure. Check out the Cool Frog, and you'll be fascinated by just where they're coming from, and they'll be fascinated by you. It's a two-way street. So anyhow, that was my little thing. I just wanted to say that. I guess. And Mike Malloy goes to the village. Is that the Discord, Mike? Is that the thing in the Discord? I got to roll down the windows again. It's getting hot in here. I'm not talking about Florida. Yeah, the village in Florida. Oh, yeah. The village. That's right. That was the place where all of the Republican, it's a really heavy Republican area, and they all vote for Trump, and sometimes they vote even more than once in the same election for Trump. Just saying. Anyhow, yeah, I know you're not talking about that place. I think it's is it the Discord kind of chat room that you're talking about? Yes, I am. At Divinity Said. So at Divinity Said, my Discord is what he calls the village. Oh, okay. So Cool Frog. How do we get there? How do we get to your Discord? I guess that's an app, because I remember you asked me one time if I had Discord, and I don't have Discord. I'm not even sure what Discord is. Is that like an app? I don't like to call it a community. Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. You like to call it a village, because it takes a village. Mike. That sounds like something Hillary would say. Hi guys. Popping in for a bit. Lisa B. Hey, Lisa B. How you doing? Glad to see you. Glad to see you in the chat. I was just gonna leave, but now I might stay a while because Lisa B is here. But anyhow, I'm interested about Discord, Cool Frog. So I guess if I go to the App Store, I can download that and then find you in there. Maybe I'll go into the village. And it would be an app and full of lots of people. Okay, I'll look for it. And then, so if I go and I download the app, do I just search Cool Frog? And that should take me to you? Thanks for the thumbs up. We're at 7. 7 thumbs ups. Did you like this video? Divinity Said, you're on there. Awesome. Hey, Divinity Said. Did you all like the video yet? Well, are you talking about my video? You talking about this video? But because we got 7, and we're on our. And if you weren't here, you don't know what I'm about to say. Here's the goal. And there's only a few people that know what that means. I'll tell you if you ask. Um, okay, so I am the village idiot. I am the only village idiot. You're not an idiot, Michael. Michael Malloy. Loving out. I saw you live, but I'm at the hospital waiting for Paul. Foot doc appointment. Thought I'd pop in. Well, I hope everything goes okay there at the foot doc for Paul. And we're saying our highs. Glad to see you guys in here. It's awesome. I'm in, for the people who are just popping in, I don't know how long you've been in there, if you've been lurking. But here's the beautiful location that I am at. I'm at the Schneider National Operating Center in Portland, Oregon. And the clouds have all burned off or gone away or whatever they did. Now it's no clouds today. It's supposed to get up in, I think, the upper 90s today, which for Portland is like a heat wave, and people will probably be dying. And here the plane, I'm right in the flight pattern of Portland International Airport. And then there's a train right there. But you know what? Didn't even bother me. I don't even know, as far as I'm concerned, they don't even run planes and trains at night. I slept all the way through. None of that bothered me. But so anyway, we got 7 in the chat, 7 thumbs ups, and I know I said I was going to leave, but I'm going to chat a little bit longer. Portland reminds me of Los Angeles, Hollywood, and West Hollywood, California. Yeah, whenever I go through downtown, I'm usually in the big truck and I'm on the interstate. And there are some really cool skyline, and there are some really cool buildings, and there's like, I guess it's the Columbia River or whatever's coming through, and there's a bay, and it's just really cool. But then you do see a lot of homeless people that are encamped on the freeways, on any little kind of grassy area, and that's kind of sad. Wish that there was more housing for people, more opportunities for I don't know, for people to have housing instead of living in a makeshift tent. But I don't get to. Basically, this is what I get to see when I'm in Portland. Is like an OC, or I'll just Uber over to a hotel, which is a few miles from here. I should get out more. I should probably go out and explore the city a little bit. That could be a good video. Exploring cities. Maybe I'll explore Portland or whatever, and whatever city I'm in. Yeah, those homeless encampments, but they're everywhere. I see them just everywhere I go. I see them in Salt Lake City too. I see them in Denver. You see them everywhere. It's a big problem. So, you see weird people in Portland. Yeah. Yeah, those are problems that we need to deal with, But anyhow, oh yeah, so I think I was talking about Discord. So I don't know if Cool Frog is still on there, but yeah, I would like to check that out. So I will be checking out the Discord app, and I'll see if I can find you guys in there, and maybe I'll be a part of the village or community, or whatever you want to call it. But all right, so I think I still haven't had breakfast. Well, I guess I had a donut. I had a donut and some orange juice, and it's starting to wear off the energy from that. So I think I'm gonna bobtail on over to Sherry's restaurant and get a proper breakfast. What I like, basically, what I like is bacon, eggs over medium, hash browns, sourdough toast, and coffee. That's my basic breakfast that I get usually almost every morning. Not every morning, depends on where I'm at. Sometimes it's a breakfast burrito. Sometimes I'll get pancakes. But usually it's that bacon, eggs, hash browns, sourdough toast, and coffee. And I like it. That's what I like. That's what I like. And on Sundays I'll have a steak and eggs breakfast usually. But this last Sunday I didn't because I just didn't feel like it. You know. So anyhow, all right, Lisa B, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Tuesday, Thursday is 9 a.m. Pacific time. I know for some people that's too early. If you're out here, if you're back east, it's more like lunchtime, I guess. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But it's a good place to hang out, and you guys can chat amongst yourselves. You know, you don't have to always chat with me. Once you get set up, I can help you find and come into the village. Okay, I'll do that, Cool Frog. I'll get set up. I'll do that today probably, and I'll be checking out Michael Malloy, and I'll be going in and I'll at least say hi. I'll at least go in and say hi, and then I might lurk. Sometimes I'm just a lurker because, like I say, a lot of times I'm playing my CSR2 game. It's a video game that I play on my iPad, and I've been addicted to it. I guess you call it addicted for like 3 or 4 years now, and I just play it. But it's a cool game. It's like it's a car game. It's a drag racing game, and you get cars and you can build them up and everything. It's just a thing I do. And so a lot of times I'm playing that game while I'm lurking in your guys' chats. Just so you know, I'm a lurker. All right, guys. So like, subscribe, and just admire these high-tech graphics. I know it's the envy of the internet. This is probably what is bringing people to the show, is the high-tech graphics. That's what it's all about. So, okay, I'm gonna, without further ado, I am going to do a little something here. Just do a little something, something. Are we still on? I might have knocked myself off for a second there. Hopefully I'm still on. If I'm still on, just give me a little thumbs up. Because I just wanted to check one thing out here real quick. And let's see if this little thing is working. It might not be. Doesn't look like it is. Let's see here.
Battery full. Connected to.
Okay. All right, guys. So from Portland, Oregon, I'm going to be signing out here in a second. We got 7 people in the chat, and I got 7 thumbs ups, which is really awesome because I'm trying to get the show to grow. And so for me, having 7 people in the chat and 7 thumbs up, that's pretty big. That's a pretty good day. You know?
Battery full. Connected to. Connected to. Broke a stud.
All right. Well, I think, let me just check this out real quick.
A rest area. It could be a truck stop. Or maybe even a Walmart parking lot. That's right. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream. That's right. It's going down. It's going down.
Bye, everybody. See you Thursday.